You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Todd Cobb once of $2 billion Trump scam as a terrorist apart enabled Todd Blanche based on an article by Todd Blanche. Trump is not the problem alone. The state he controls is. What the source says, Todd Cobb, once Trump's lawyer, is warning that Trump may try to interfere with the midterms by using the instruments of government he controls, including IC and the National Guard, with Todd Blanche serving as an enabler rather than a check. Cobb says Senate Republicans are likely to stop Blanche's confirmation, and it points back to 2020 as proof that Trump has already tried to seize voting machines and ballots when no lawful basis existed. The real center of power. This story is not about Trump's temperament. It is about institutional capture. The key force is the president, the attorney general nominee, the Senate Republicans confirming him, and that agencies that can be turned into domestic coercion on command. Cobb's old complaint about the need for a sober mind in the White House is almost nostalgic nonsense at this point. The problem is not a missing adult in the room. The problem is that the room itself has been handed to people willing to weaponize it. Enablers, not guardians. Blanche is not being described as a restraining force. Cobb calls him an enabler, and that is the important detail. The issue is not whether Trump has one more advisor who can whisper caution in his ear. It is that the machinery of the executive branch is being stopped by people who normalize abuse, excuse it after the fact, and then call out governments. Senate Republicans, by refusing to supply even minimal resistance, are not passive observers. They are part of the permission structure. The election is the target. The warning here is specific: the use of ICD, the National Guard, and the seizure of voting machines and ballots around election day. That is not routine election chatter. It is a blueprint for intimidation and disruption. Cobb says Trump wanted to do this in 2020 and was told there was no basis. The important difference now is that the people around Trump are not there to tell him no. That means the threat is not hypothetical confusion. It is deliberate preparation. ICD should not exist for this. Any story that imagines ICD as a neutral enforcement tool is already lying about the state. If ICD can be floated as an election instrument, that is not a misuse of a housing agency. It is proof that its agency is structurally suited to political repression. The answer is not training, oversight, or better messaging. ICD should be abolished. Institutions built for deportation and fear do not become democratic guardians because someone asks nicely. The pattern. This is the same authoritarian pattern again. Normalize the scheme, stop the scheme, deny the scheme until the machinery is in place, then act as if the resulting chaos was an accident. Cobb's remarks matter because they locate the danger where it actually lies, in the collision between a president bent on power and a Republican Party that keeps removing every institutional break in front of him. The story is not that democracy is failing from exhaustion. It is being hollowed out by people who know exactly what they are doing. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternate for today's article, with the automated voice of Diana. Thanks for listening.